Christmas dinner. Mom placed a gift in everyone's hands. In my share, there was only silent humiliation. My uncle's laughter and the relatives' stares burned me alive. But 2 weeks later, when those same people were begging at my door, then my silence. "Oh, this is for you," my mom said with a smile and placed a small box wrapped in red ribbon into my hands. We were all gathered at Uncle Mark's house for Christmas dinner. The dining room was huge. A long polished table stretching from one end to the other, every plate paired neatly with a gift. Candle light flickered softly against crystal glasses. Christmas music hummed in the background. People were laughing, passing dishes, clinking forks. I remember thinking, maybe this time it would just be normal. Just one holiday without tension hiding beneath the surface. If you've ever smiled through humiliation or felt the sting of family betrayal, stay with me. This story only gets deeper. Subscribe so you don't miss what happens next. My uncle sat to my right. My cousin Jessica was on my left. Everyone began tearing into their presents. "Wow, Mom, thank you." Jessica laughed. "Look what I got." Someone shouted from across the table. I opened my box. Inside was an empty card. Just a plain white card. Nothing written on it. Beneath it was a small slip of paper that read, "For the one who already has everything." The table went quiet for half a breath. Then, Uncle Mark burst out laughing. Loud the "Oh, come on, it's a joke." A few people chuckled awkwardly. Others looked down at their plates. I looked at my mother. She was smiling, calm, like nothing unusual had just happened. Softly, I asked, "Mom, what is this?" He shrugged. "Just a little fun. You own everything already. The big house, the good job, the perfect life. What more could you possibly need? So, everyone else gets a real gift," I said carefully, feeling heat crawl up my neck. "And I get a punchline." Uncle Mark laughed again. "Don't be so sensitive." Jessica leaned toward me and whispered, "Relax. It's Christmas." My husband, David, sat silently beside me. He didn't even look at me. I closed the card and placed it back beside my plate. "Hey," I said. "Gigi got it." Dinner continued. Conversation restarted louder than before, like everyone was trying to smother what had just happened. No one mentioned it again, but everyone knew. When I stood up to get water, I glanced down at Jessica's phone on the table. The family group chat was open. Jessica had typed, "Did you see her face?" "Face with tears of joy," Uncle Mark replied. "She finally knows she's not special." I set the phone back exactly where it had been. My ears were burning. My chest felt tight, but I didn't say a word. When I sat back down, I leaned toward David. "Why didn't you say anything?" "It's not a big deal," he muttered. "They were joking. A joke about me. Drop it. Don't ruin the night." I nodded slowly. "Fine." 2 days later, I was at Walmart on a routine grocery run when I heard my mother's voice behind me in the parking lot. "Hey, wait a minute." I turned. She walked toward me briskly, coat unbuttoned, purse swinging at her side. "You're still upset." I was embarrassed in front of everyone. I said plainly, "Embarrassed." She scoffed. "Grow up. You've always been the favorite." One little reality check and suddenly it's a tragedy. "Favorite?" I stared at her. "You handed me an empty card." He shrugged. "You'll survive." And in that moment, something clicked. I remembered last summer, Uncle Mark flipping burgers at a backyard barbecue. He'd grinned at me and said, "You're pretty lucky. Dad put the house in your name. It was for tax reasons." I'd replied, "Sure." He'd laughed. I had thought he was teasing. Now I understood he wasn't. I remembered overhearing Mom and Mark in the kitchen months ago. "She always ends up with everything," Mark had said. "She didn't ask for it." Mom replied, "It just happened." "Then do something different this time. Let her feel it for once." I had ignored it then. I shouldn't have. 2 weeks after Christmas, I got a call from the bank. "Hi, this is First National Bank. A lien has been filed against your property." I went completely still. "Excuse me? By who?" "There's an outstanding business loan attached to your co-signed agreement." "By what?" "I didn't co-sign anything. There is an electronic signature under your name." I logged into the online portal immediately. The document loaded. Co-signer Emily Carter, borrower Mark Carter. My name, my house, my liability. I called David. "Did you sign anything? Anything at all?" "No, I had no idea." He said. I called my mother. "Did you know about Mark's loan?" Silence. Then quietly, "It was temporary." "Temporary?" My voice shook now. "There's a lien on my house. You can afford it. He can't." "Are you serious?" "It's family," she said as if that settled everything. "He forged my signature." "Don't use that word," she snapped. I hung up. The next morning, I sat in a downtown law office. Glass walls, polished floors, explaining everything to an attorney. "If that signature isn't yours," he said calmly, This is fraud. Then proceed. I told him. I filed a police report. I sent a written dispute to the bank. I authorized a forensic signature examination. Uncle Mark texted me that night. Why are you overreacting? I replied. We're done here. A few days later, I looked out my window and saw 3 cars in my driveway. My mother, Mark. I opened the door but didn't invite them in. Can we talk? Mom asked. About what? Mark stepped forward. You filed a police report? Yes. You're ruining my life. You signed my name. I was desperate. He shouted. You could have asked. He gave a short, nervous laugh. You would have said no. Exactly. My mother clasped her hands together. Please withdraw the report. He could go to jail. You told me I'd survive. I said evenly. He will, too. Jessica crossed her arms. It was just money. I looked at her. Then you pay it. Silence fell like a dropped curtain. Mark lowered his voice. I'll fix it. Just stop the case. Talk to my lawyer. For the first time, I saw panic in my mother's eyes. Emily, we're family. Family doesn't forge signatures, and I closed the door. The following week, the bank removed the lien. Mark sold property to settle the loan. The criminal case technically remained open, but he accepted a plea deal, probation, and a heavy fine. For the first time since Christmas, the family group chat went silent. No messages, no jokes, no apologies either. One night, David asked, Are you okay? Yeah, I said. You were cold. I shrugged. So were they. It's been 6 months now. I stand in the school pickup line. I grab coffee at the drive-thru. I live my life. The house is still in my name. Clean, secure mine. Mom left a voicemail once. We miss you. I deleted it. At Christmas dinner, I received an empty card. I was the joke at the table. I can still hear my uncle's laughter echoing against the candle light. But 2 weeks later, when those same people stood on my doorstep begging, no laughter left in them. I didn't scream. I didn't give a speech. I didn't cry. I simply did what was right. And this time, my silence wasn't the joke. If this story touched something in you, if you've ever had to choose between silence and strength, please take a moment to like and subscribe. Your support helps these real heartfelt stories reach more people who need them. Thank you for listening, for caring, and for being here until the very